I will adjust it on whoever talking. I will adjust it so whoever is talking. I have you now. I just need to confirm my live stream going on and I'll come back. Okay, cool. You are live.
She might be blasting us out having to peer through the window.
Coming. Yes, wait. Then comes up. Coming back? No.
Now Joshua, he's our photographer.
We go now, right? Don't go around arguing now. Alright. Okay.
The door's still open though.
Okay, no, go back. Go back. Okay.
I think you have to just so this out.
No, it's okay.
But see yourself. See yourself.
We got a camera.
Look at yourself. Is that how you want your hair to be far from this stuff? Or you want it to be right in the middle?
Again.
What do you
I want
what
to
are you
do
saying?
the glue. The put in front of the glue. It's all right.
Oh, okay.
Go, go see glue from outside.
Okay, that's a neat email.
doing this?
Huh? Give me a chair. A chair on the side. What?
You gotta-
Lady.
Sit down. Take a little bit. I'm looking at him. Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Just talking to Maria, please. Yeah. You want to do yours if you want to be done.
Okay, hi. You hearing it?
I believe you just talk.
That's what I'm saying, you hearing it already?
No, no.
You're not hearing it?
You won't hear it.
Oh, you haven't? Oh, what are you doing?
Good enough? You can just do the microphone.
Hello there and welcome to your program, the NASSCORP Hour. Yes, we secure your financial future. The NASSCORP Hour is a 55-minute live, informative, and interactive talk show designed to educate the public on NASSCORP's functions and its activities. We're coming to you live from Radio Monrovia 92.1 FM from the heart of the city on the east bank of the St. Paul River. Okay, we have relays on ELBC 99.9 FM, Liberty Broadcasting Services in Sino 105.5 FM, Laxa Radio in Buchanan 92.5 FM, Puma Radio in Bummy 106.3 FM, Classic Radio in Kakata 93.9 FM, Radio Life in Zosa and Lofa 92.5 FM, and The Voice of Firestone 89.5 FM. You can watch us live stream on Radio Monrovia, and TLC Africa YouTube channel. Okay, we're happy to have you all here. As you all are aware, NASSCORP is the acronym for National Social Security and Welfare Corporation. Acronym meaning the shortcut name, NASSCORP. My name is Cora Taylor Ferguson, your host and presenter. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back with your favorite informative talk show and very exciting people in studio for you today with good news. Thank you. Thank you very much for tuning in. We're live from Radio Monrovia 92.1 FM. Today in studios we have Mr. Don Daniels, our coordinator for education. Welcome, Mr. Daniels.
Thank you for having us.
And I also have in studio Mrs. Dana Jones, our coordinator for registration. Okay, the past month we've been giving you the history, the origin of NASSCORP and whatever. It never finishes, okay? But we're taking you step by step now from registration. So I have Dana in studio. We're gonna go through the steps of how to register with NASSCORP. You're welcome, Dana.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Now, before we get into all of that, let me tell you the principal objectives of the NASSCORP Hour. Okay, here they are. The NASSCORP Hour is here to enhance the public's understanding of the nature and functions of NASSCORP. The NASSCORP Hour is here to minimize the misinformation and wrong perceptions about NASSCORP amongst the Liberian populace. We're here to stimulate payments of Social Security contributions by all institutions operating in Liberia. The NASSCORP Hour is here to promote NASSCORP's work at the community level and amongst the Liberian populace. We're here to inform employees of their rights to Social Security benefits, as well as their responsibility to ensure that monthly contributions deducted on their behalf, on behalf of the employees, are shared by them and their employers. Last but not the least, the NASSCORP Hour is here to disseminate information to the general public on the programs, services, and benefits provided by NASSCORP. Okay, I'll let Mr. Daniels, my co-host, go over our mission, our vision, our care values. Okay, he's the mouth for NASSCORP. Mr. Daniels.
Well, in short, NASSCORP was established by the government of Liberia in July 10, 1975 through an act of the National Legislature to provide categories of benefits for registered employees. Registered employees are employees who get insured with NASSCORP. The benefits I will offer helps employers keep their responsibilities to their employees as well, as most employers do not have a retirement plan for their employees. But when they sign up with NASSCORP, as they should, then they do have it. So we are here doing our best, as we've done for the last 47 years, reaching out to the Liberian populace, especially those employed in the formal sector, and providing them categories of benefits. Today, of course, we have, everything has a beginning. So to be a part of NASSCORP, you must go through our registration processes. And representing the registration department of the National Social Security and Welfare Corporation, she will be here and she will lead us through the steps in registration, why those steps are necessary. Because you have to register before you can get benefits, but then you'll know much more when she comes in and begin to share with us.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Daniels. Okay, just before we get to our expert for registration, Dana Jones, I'll just go over what I like to do. Our mission is to provide financial security to sustain the quality of life of insured workers. At Social Security, our vision is to deliver convenient and exceptional service through innovative solutions in bridging income gaps and improving the quality of life for all beneficiaries. Our care values are stewardship, integrity, equity, transparency, accountability, and efficiency. It is the law that all employers who hire one or more employees must register and pay contributions to NASSCORP. On that note, I'll go over to Ms. Jones, Dana. Welcome again.
Thank you.
And we were going to open the lines at the last 20 minutes of the show, but right now we're going to go through the steps of registration. Dana, if I've just established my business and want to register with Social Security, what do I do?
Thank you so much, Ms. Coco, for having me here. Registration, as we all know, is the first step of being a part of Social Security and the schemes. The policy of NASSCOP says that after 15 days of registering your business in Liberia, you are supposed to register with Social Security and then start to remit your contributions. There are a few steps that employers will have to take to be able to have that done. And the first thing is to be a registered business. You need to be registered, as the law says, with the Liberia Business Registry. And when you do that, you can come to Social Security's office at our 24th Street office. You can either go to our regional offices. You can go to you can go online. We have the forms that you're supposed to pick up to fill in. The first form that is for the employer is called the registration form 1, and that form is for the entity's information. We require that the entity name, as is on the business registration certificate that is given from LBR, should be the same. We require that the date the business commenced, because like I said previously, after 15 days of registering the business, you are required by law to register with Social Security. And then we require your organization type, that is if it's a private entity, an NGO, whether it's local or international, state-owned or a government. And then we usually will ask you for your number of employees, because like Ms. Coco said, you have to, the policy says whether it's one or more, you need to be registered. So then we ask you how many staff you have. And then we ask you for where your business is located. We ask you for, okay, the most important, another important part of it is what are you involved in? That is your business activity. So we usually will give you some examples on the back of the form, and some of them will be what business you're involved in. Some will say construction. If it's construction, you have to detail to us what kind of construction, because this helps our actual team to know the amount of entities and their activities. So we usually are very strong on that part of the information to give us what kind of business you're involved in and what are you doing with that business. So generally, if you're doing construction, we ask you what kind of construction, whether it's road, it's bridges, whether it's building, or it's just general construction. General construction entails everything about construction. So, and the form 1 must be signed by the employer and stamped. So that is just the first part of being registered with Social Security for the employer. And when the employer does that, they fill in that registration form, what we require of you to attach for us is a copy of your business registration certificate as proof of the business being registered in Liberia. And if that entity is a corporation, we usually will ask you for an article of incorporation. So as far as that is concerned, Ms. Coco, I think that's just the first part of being registered with Social Security as an employer. So if you want us to go further with the employees' information, then we can do that.
You may.
Okay, so after the employer is or is registered or has filled in the Social Security registration form 1, your employees are required to fill in the Social Security registration form 2. And that form has particularly information for the employee. That is the name of the employee, date of birth of the employee, and I will come back to date of birth, but then let's just move forward. The name of the employee, the date of birth, the country of origin, county you were born in, your marital status, home address, work address, dependent information, and then you have to sign it and put your contact number. So then I would say it step by step. We all know what your name is, your full name, your first, middle, and last name. And we don't want the part that there are times that people will say, I will use my last name first. For the NASSCORP form is straight up first, middle, and last name. You do not put your last name first. You do not put your middle name first. You do not put your first name last. So it's your last name. And we have some place there that we call suffix. Most times people confuse that place and put Mr., Mistress. We all know what suffix is. Or for those that do not know, your suffix is at the ending, the thing that comes at the end. So if you're junior, if you're senior, if you're first, if you're second, third, fifth, whatever it is, that's what we call suffix. And that form part of your name. Mr. doesn't form part of your official name. So we want it to be official, so you give us that part for suffix. And we have the date of birth. And most times we find out that people, usually I can say in Liberia, because of work, people usually go and change their age. Their employer know you as this age, and then you come to Social Security and you give us another date of birth. So we usually emphasize on that part. The same date of birth that you give your employer is the same date of birth that you give to NASSCORP. Because for you to be pensioned with Social Security, you have to meet the age requirement. And the age requirement for NASSCORP is 60 minimum to 65. So if you give your employer different age and you give Social Security different age, your employer may say that you're already fit to be pensioned, but then when you come to Social Security will tell you no. For according to our record we have here, you haven't reached the age for retirement. So because you want to have a smooth process, we always encourage employees to be truthful with their date of birth. Whatever you give your employer, you give to NASSCORP. And then marital status. This is something that is so important for NASSCORP because we all know that if an insured employee dies, your spouse and your children are supposed to benefit. So we are key on marital status. So if you say that you and a lady living together and then you come up and say, she's my wife, you fill in the form and say, she's my wife, we accept it the first time because as far as NASSCORP is concerned, whatever information you are putting on that form is correct and you're signing it to attest that my information is correct. So if you come back after 2-3 years, maybe you and the lady, you fell apart and you don't want her again because you already been married to her in the first place, so putting her out was so easy for you, and you came back to, maybe you found another employer and decided to refill the form with another person's name, we usually will call you back and tell you, no sir, we have this person as your wife. If you want to change this, you have to bring us a proof that you two are no longer together. That is the bill of divorcement. So if you cannot produce that, we cannot change that person's name. So we usually ask employees to kindly, especially the men, pay attention to your marital status. If you say you're single today and tomorrow you get married, you can always update your record. It's your right to update your record as many times as possible. So there's no need of putting someone's name there that you know at the end of the day you will not be able to remove. So marital status is something that we're key on. And then another part that we're key on is the dependents information. And according to NASSCORP's policy, dependents are your spouses, husband, wife, and children that are 21 years old and under, between 0 to 21. Those are people that we call dependents. So when you have any child that is older than 21, NASSCORP, in case there is anything that happens to you, NASSCORP is not going to pay that child. So we ask you for children who are 21 and under for your dependents, and then we encourage you to always state the name of your spouse when we ask you to list your dependents. There are times people say married, but they do not list the name of their spouse. So we encourage all the employees to kindly list the name of your spouse. If you haven't done it, there's still room to do it because we have the update form that you can come and pick up and be able to add that information there for us. So when you're done with that part, you have to put your contact information. We all know that's important because just in case of anything, we have to contact you, and then you must sign the form. Signing the form tells us that you understand everything about that form and you agree, and all the information on that form, it is your information and is correct. One thing that everybody needs to know that the only person that has the right to change your date of birth for NASSCORP is the Director General. We nobody else at NASSCORP will have the right to change your date of birth. So the Director General, and before he changes your date of birth, he has to do an investigation to make sure that if you say, oh, I'm so old now, probably you're 60 already, and then our system is saying that you're still 45, and then you say, no, but I'm old, I don't know how I put that date of birth there and all that. We will tell you, please, write a letter to the Director General, and he will have to do his investigation. If he sees that, no, you still look young, I don't think you're 60, or you do not have enough proof to give him, he's not going to change your date of birth. That means you're going to wait an extra 15 years or so to be 60, and you know very well if it's possible, then you live, but if not, then your family will have to take that benefit. So to be able to enjoy your benefit, put your right date of birth. Being 60, being retired is not a crime. What you need to do is to just, as long as your employer is contributing for you, you're going to benefit from it when you reach the age for retirement. So, and then when you fill in the form, make sure that you put a passport size picture or clear passport size picture. And one thing we do not allow is scratches in the form or using more than one pen. So we ask that if you're using blue pen, continue using blue pen. Don't use blue, don't use blue, then you come back and use black. Just use blue. If you're using black, you use black all through. So that is basically for the employees and for the employer. Thank you.
Okay, let me come in there. The passport picture, does it require a certain background? Because you know some places you want red background, white background. Does it? They need to know that.
Yeah, for us, we will just usually ask you to kindly just give us a clear background, but mostly if it's red or blue, that's good for the betterment of your ID card.
Okay, thank you, Dana. There you have it from our coordinator for registration, Ms. Dana Jones. That's your first step to registration for Social Security. Like I said, at the end of this program, before the end, we'll have you call in. We have our expert, Mr. Daniels, here. And then we have Dana here with all your questions on registration. We have questions here we can ask her, but we'll leave them to you to ask her. If you're just tuning in, we're coming to you live with the NASSCORP Hour from Radio Monrovia 92.1 FM. Let me give you some information, a piece of information that is very important to you for your ears. I want you to know that at NASSCORP, we cover the whole country. NASSCORP, we're not only in Monrovia. So therefore, I always give you the locations of our regional offices. Okay? We cover the whole Liberia, if I may say. Our head office is located on 24th Street in Tubman Boulevard in Cinco, Monrovia. That's the NASSCORP head office. And then we have 8 regions, 8 regional offices across Liberia. We have Region 1 that covers Montserrado County. If you live in Montserrado County, you go to 15th Street and Payne Avenue. That's considered beach side, beach side in Cinco, Monrovia. Then we have Region 2 that covers Grand Bassa and Riverside counties. Region 2 is located at the corner of Robert and Tubman Streets, opposite the Catholic Mission in Buchanan, Grand Bassa County. We have Region 3 that covers Bumming, Kitmount, and Babalu counties. Region 3 is located on Ellen Avenue in Tubmanburg, Bumming County. Region 4 covers Margibi County. Region 4 is located in the New Kakata community, opposite the LRA office in Kakata, Margibi County. Region 5 covers Bung and Lofa counties. Region 5 is located on the Executive Drive, opposite the Presidential Palace in Banga City, Bung County. Region 6 covers Nimba County, the entire Nimba County. You know that's a big county. Region 6 is located in the Glanu community, Ganta, Nimba County. I always remind you there's no Region 7, but Region 8 covers Maryland, River G, and Grand Crew counties. Region 8 is located on Maryland Avenue in Harper City, Maryland County. And Region 9 covers Sino and Grand Gila counties. Region 9 is located on Mississippi Street in Greenville, Sino County. So if you're in Grand Gila, you come down to Sino, okay? It's not far, I've been there. Come to Mississippi Street to our Region 9 office. There you go, you have it. We cover the whole of Liberia. You're not left out. If you have problems, if you need to register, you go to your original office. We have the forms there, and like Ms. Jones said, we have the forms online. You can't reach online, go to your original office, and they will serve you. Thank you for listening. This is the NASSCORP Hour, live from Radio Monrovia, 92.1 FM. We'll take a short break. Be right back. So far, Dana Jones.
Yes, ma'am.
My name is Mrs. Ferguson.
Oh, Miss Coco.
Miss Coco, I know. Miss Coco is a different brand.
She gave excellent information, as the same information she gave us yesterday.
Yeah.
To fill up on Friday.
Yeah,
Oh, the
Friday.
form?
But
Yeah.
you see, this is why I will bring them from each section. Because they're the expert on it. They know, you know. Daniels is the mouth of NASSCORP, you know. He's every department, but you have the expert from each and every department. He's in education. So they do all the teachings. You know, like next we're gonna have somebody from contributions. That's how we. Then I go to the big boys. They didn't want to go when we first started the show. So they say, I will go.
income.
There you go, baile.
Thank you very much. This is the NASSCORP Hour, coming to you live from Radio Monrovia 92.1 FM, from the heart of the city on the east bank of the St. Paul River. I just love hearing that. We have relays on ELBC 99.9 FM, Liberty Broadcasting Services 105.5 FM, Laxa Radio 92.5 FM, Puma Radio 106.3 FM, Classic Radio 93.9 FM, Radio Life 92.5 FM, and the Voice of Firestone 89.5 FM. Okay. Oh, and then you can catch us live on TLC Africa YouTube page and Radio Monrovia Facebook page. Okay, we're live. You can see who you're talking to, Mrs. Ferguson, and we have Dana Jones and my co-host, Mr. Don Daniels, all in studio. It makes it even better when you can see who you're talking to, don't it? Okay. We'll go back now to Dana. She sort of wrapped it up because we're going to give you all a chance to call in to answer these questions. But Dana, in registration, during registration, one question they asked, and I'm sure it's going to come to you all today. What happens to my Social Security number? After they register, they get a number. A lot of people get confused after they get this number. If they change employers, what happens? Do this number changes or not? That's a very important question. And they're going to ask you, as much as you're going to answer it, they're going to ask again.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Ferguson. Yeah, the Social Security number that you are issued after you fill in the registration form 2 is for life. That number goes from one entity to another entity. So if you worked for entity A and you leave and go to entity B, that number goes with you. What is required of that employer? That employer is required to give us your name, your detail, and we have something called the registration form 3 that is meant for the employer to fill up and send to us. So the employer will tell us through that form that Ms. Dana Jones left NASSCORP and now with the Ministry of Information. And the employer will have to put in that Social Security number, that 9-digit Social Security number. The employer will have to put that on the form, and then all we have to do is to just link you to that employer. And it doesn't affect no contribution because NASSCORP contribution is a pay-as-you-go system. So when you leave one entity, whatever contribution you made there is going with you to the next entity. So it doesn't matter whether you change the employer, your Social Security number remains constant. There are instances that Social Security, one person will have more than one Social Security number. It's not that the system is giving you that number, it's because you as an employee, you haven't been truthful with your form. There are times that some employee will say, like, my name is Dana LaQuise Jones. And then when I'm at NASSCORP, I'm Dana LaQuise Jones. And when I'm going to Ministry of Information, I'm telling Ministry of Information, I'm LaQuise Dana Jones. That is not the same name. So your name is supposed to remain constant. As long as your name is constant, you're going to have one Social Security number because the system we have will not duplicate numbers. The only thing that will be duplicated will be names. And that is if the name is not correct. If you say Dana Jones, is Dana Jones all through your employment. It's not Dana Jones today and LaQuise Jones tomorrow. So and once that is done, you have one Social Security number for life. When you get to the point of retirement or when you die, or for the babati excuse, your family will use that same number to come and make their claim for your benefits. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Dana. We're gonna open the lines for some questions. The numbers to call in on are 0777 921 921 and WhatsApp 0770 549 961. Okay, the numbers again to call in on are 0881 WhatsApp 0881 356 900 or 0777 921 921. Let me give it back to you. This is the NASSCORP Hour live from Radio Monrovia 92.1 FM. We're going to open the lines. Do we have a caller? Hello? Hello? You're live on the NASSCORP Hour. Your name, please, and where are you calling from? Okay, Richelieu, how may we help you today? Okay, Richelieu. Okay, you said you registered?
Yes, I need to receive money. On the number, I need to put it in and get my money on there. On Sunday, one to the day, you told me that I need to carry my ID card back.
Maybe you had to renew your ID card.
Is he a beneficiary?
You're a beneficiary?
Yes.
Okay, then you have to renew your ID card. That's what it is. Okay?
You can do that by coming to our 15th Street office.
Okay, can you hear it, Dana? You can come to the 15th Street office, okay?
Yes, to our beneficiary status section.
And renew your ID
Renew
card.
Your ID card.
And your money is there. Do we have a caller? Hello? You're live on the NASSCORP Hour. Your name, please, and where you calling from? I didn't get the question. Can you repeat? Okay.
Can I call you back later to clarify some issues with you? Okay, I'll call you back. I'll call you back later after the show.
Okay, do we have a caller? Hello? Hello? Okay, 0881-356-900 or 0777-921-921. You're live on the NASSCORP Hour, 92.1 FM, Radio Monrovia. Let's hear from you. 0881-356-900 or 0777-921-921. Let's hear from you. This is an opportunity. Okay, did you get Mr. Walker's question from Gardnersville, the first man echo?
The renewal of the ID card.
Oh yeah, we did tell him he has
He
to
not
renew
responded
his.
to him.
Yeah.
I just want to say something about that renewal.
Mhm.
Now, every 2 years, our beneficiaries, especially our pensioners,
Yeah.
we have to renew the ID card to validate their status with NASSCORP. The renewal usually takes place in the month of December, but now it's going to happen in March. of next year. But there will be information out for the
Okay,
public.
hello.
How are you?
You're live on the NASSCORP Hour. Your name, please, and where you're calling from.
I'm Jim S. Uncle, calling you from Marketing County.
Okay, how may we help you today?
Thank you so much for the awareness that you are giving, providing for us as employees or workers of very entity.
We're happy we're able to do this for you.
As you deliberately express my question drawn to a person who has worked with tax entities like NGOs who have been registered on NASSCOP and still maintaining the more ID card that was given by NASSCOP. What was the benefit or what is the benefit when was with that entity? I try to put myself in the picture when I went with Medicine Bank Frontier for 3 years, and after this withdraw from the country, then still within the national ID card. Even when I was being employed, I still carry that number. But I'm concerned about the amount that was being deducted from the time I went with Medicine Bank Frontier. How do I go about this?
Okay, can you just keep your radio on and listen? We're gonna answer your question in a minute. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. We have a caller? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
You're live on the NASSCOP Hour. Your name, please, and where you calling from?
I'm calling from Palm Beach.
Okay, Mr. Dua, how may we help you?
I'm a Palm Beach employee. Well, I want to know if the company retired, is a company that will make a representation, or you yourself that will do the follow up? That's my question.
Okay, Mr. Dua, we will address you in a minute. Okay? Hello? Okay. Mr. We have a caller. Hello? Hello? You're live on the NASSCOP Hour.
Hello?
You're live on the NASSCOP Hour. Your name and where you're calling from?
Alex,
Okay, what's the... Yes. Your name, please?
Alex,
Okay, how may we help you today? Where are you calling from? Okay, Alex, you're breaking in and out. Can you...
Hello?
Hello, your name, please, and where you're calling from? Okay, Mr. Sampon, how may we help you? Can you step away from your radio?
Yeah. This is a NASSCOR hour, right?
Yes, it is. You're live.
Okay, my question had to do with, like, if you are a contractor for an entity, and then they said that they'll have your NASSCOR artifact form, and then they said that they remote your NASSCOR pay to NASSCOR office. It is treated that to take my artifact to go check if it is true that NASSCOR actually cutting my money and putting it in NASSCOR cover.
You are welcome to do that. You can come and check.
Okay, and my other question had to do with, after the second call, and that question is most important, that he was working with Firestone before, and then they gave me another social security number, and then the door is switched to RIA, and he gave me another social security number, so how can you reconcile them? Can I get it clarity?
Okay, Mr. Sampon, we will address that, okay? Just keep listening, all right? Thank you. Do we have a caller? You're live listening to the NASSCOP Hour coming to you from Radio Monrovia 92.1 FM. Let's hear from you, 0881-356-900. Hello? Oh, okay, how may we help you today?
Yeah, I would like to know if you are working for the
Okay, then you can tackle that right now.
Yeah.
So, if your ID card is missing, all you have to do is to come at any of NASSCORP's offices around the country. Then you give your name and the entity that you worked with or you are currently working with, and then they will forward it to the head office. It's easy as long as you already fill in the form. We already have all your information in our database. So when you give us your name, we'll be able to find it and we'll be able to print you another ID card. But to print you another ID card is $5 US. The first ID card is given to you free, but when it gets missing or damaged, you have to pay for it.
Okay, he's calling from Upper Maserati, he says, huh? So he can come
So
to 15th
You
Street?
can come at our 15th Street office or better still at our 24th Street office.
Okay. Right, do we have a caller? You're listening to the NASSCORP Hour live from Radio Monrovia 92.1 FM. Hello? Hello? You're live on the NASSCORP Hour. Your name, please, and where you're calling from?
My name is Gani Dese. I'm calling from the farm behind Boma.
Okay. How may we help you today?
Yeah, I received a text message. I'm a beneficiary. I received a text message stating that I have certain amount in my account.
Uh-huh.
Foreign account is and then available balance is so I want to know the difference between available balance and foreign balance.
Okay. Well, Mr. Daniels will call you after the show. Okay, do we have a caller? You're tuning to the NASSCORP Hour. Please make use of this opportunity. 0881-356-900 or 0777-921-921. Let's hear from you. We have our experts in the studio. Call and let us answer all your questions, your doubts. We want to clear them, okay? We can't do all in one day, but we're here for you. Every Monday, 12 to 1, we do have relays on ELBC, Lexa, Puma, Classic Radio, Radio Live, and Voice of Firestone. Okay, so let us hear from you. 0881-356-900, 0777-921-921. The NASSCORP Hour live. Hello? Hello? It's the NASSCORP Hour and you are live. Your name, please? What's the name again? Okay, Sonny, let's hear from you.
Yeah, I want to find out my name was placed on a pension list, which I went through the process. It's then my pension letter already released in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Back then my pension, let's say my beneficiary ID card.
What do you say?
Okay, Sonny, but we got the question.
You get me? Hello?
Yeah, we got the question.
Yeah, we hear you, and he's gonna call you. Mr. Daniels will call you after the show. Okay?
All right.
Okay, thank you. Do we have another caller? Okay, if you're just tuning in, you're listening to the NASSCORP Hour, live from Radio Monrovia 92.1 FM with relays on ELBC, 99.9 FM, Liberty Broadcasting Services, 105.5 FM, Lexa Radio Buchanan, 92.5 FM, Puma, 106.3 FM, Classic Radio, Radio Live, okay, with repeats. We have a caller? Okay, you can also catch us live on TLC Africa YouTube channel and Radio Monrovia Facebook page. Okay, we're gonna close the line for now. Take a short break. Okay, one caller. Hello. Emmanuel. Okay, what's your full name, Emmanuel?
Yes. Hello?
Yes, Emmanuel. Where are you calling from?
Emmanuel Ali. It's Mississippi.
Where are you calling from?
Come again?
What place you calling from?
I'm Emmanuel. District.
Okay, how may we help you?
Yes, because basically,
We are here, Emmanuel.
Emmanuel, we're listening to you. Hello? What do you want us to clarify, Emmanuel? You're breaking in and out. Okay, I'm sorry we lost Emmanuel. How sad. He'll call back. Okay. The time flies. I want to go back to Dana in registration. We have what we call the PPCC clearance, which they have to know about in registration. Okay, and I want Dana to clarify that for our listeners. Okay, we may have to have you next week.
So for like I said previously, when you register with Social Security as an employer, you are required to fill in the registration form 1. And when that is done, we will give you a certificate called the NASSCORP registration certificate. And that shows your name of your entity, and your Social Security employer's code. So, and when that is done for you, you are supposed to start making contribution to Social Security. So, and there is something right now that we have with the PPCC, Public Procurement Concession Commission, and it's something that we call the PPCC clearance. And that shows the PPCC for those that want to do biddings, that those that want to have contracts, you're supposed to be registered with PPCC. And one of the requirements of PPCC is to have a Social Security registration or Social Security clearance. So, one way to obtain that clearance from NASSCORP is for you, the employer, to ensure that once you are registered for Social Security, you are up to date with your payment. So for you to have the PPCC clearance, you should ensure that you are registered and you are paying your contribution, and then we can issue you that clearance. Thank you.
Thank you, Dana. Gosh, we ran out of time already. We will be back next week at the same time. You're listening to the NASSCORP Hour live from Radio Monrovia 92.1 FM, the heart of the city, on the east bank of the St. Paul River. Just how that sounds is just how we feel in the studio. We want to say thank you to ELBC 99.9 FM, Liberty Broadcasting Services 105.5 FM, Lascar Radio 92.5 FM, Poma in Bumming 106.3 FM, Classic Radio in Kakata 93.9 FM, Radio Live in Zozo, Zoya Radio 92.5 FM, and the Voice of Firestone for relaying this program. You can listen on your stations for repeats during the week, okay? And we want to also give a big thank you to Radio Monrovia 92.1 FM for live streaming on their Facebook page, and TLC Africa. Thank you very much, and we will continue this. We will be back next week, same time, same place. My name is Cora Taylor Ferguson, your host and presenter. Thank you for joining us.
So we have some incomplete business.
A lot.
the questions from the callers. So
So
I
maybe
hope
we
next
need 2
week,
hours.
I hope next week we
Yeah,
can
maybe we can.
answer these questions, because some of them may call again next week.
On air.
They will call. If I can get to them, if you got all the callers' numbers?
Yeah.
Okay, just share with me, I'll call them back together.
But you know, most times the people
But
asking these questions, other
for
people
the
are
general
depending
people,
on those
mhm.
questions to be answered.
Yeah.
So they can bother to ask a question, but it could be the same thing that the other man said that the man asked.
We're very air.
So these are things that they need to, you can answer for.
They didn't get responses.
Yeah.
I think we'll address these issues next week first.
Yeah, what we do, you list these questions and we can address it next week.
Yeah.
Your time is short.
Mhm.
Your time short.
Fair and short.
Went by fast.
Yeah, just go fast.
What are you seeing, Yaga?
I see it